So I just saw this when it comes to Bittensor. Now, nothing I say is financial advice. However, according to Coin Bureau, not too long ago, they said how CoinGecko reveals most searched altcoins. They continue on to say how CoinGecko has revealed the top 15 most searched altcoins on its platform in recent hours. And guess what? Bittensor was number 2. Guess who was number 1? Bitcoin. However, if we think about it, Bitcoin, it's not even an altcoin. So I think the wording of this post probably needs to be changed a little bit. But besides that point, if we consider just that time frame right there for that post, arguably it would make it that TAO, Bittensor's native token, would arguably be the most searched altcoin, right? Because again, Bitcoin's not even an altcoin. But even besides that point, this is just tomato, but I'll skip this part and move on. So allegedly, if I just take a look at this time frame, this chart right here, Bittensor was more searched than Cardano, Solana, BNB, and all this. Wow, I think that's pretty impressive right there. I think that right there might arguably showcase where the attention may be heading because, again, Bittensor, it's not like it's even a top 10 project. It's clearly not, but it's still searched by that many people. I find that very impressive, actually, in the grand scheme of things. I think it's ridiculous in a good way. And I think this right here kind of plays into the narrative anyways, as to what I find a lot of people often like. I see a lot of people liking AI and as well as machine learning. And guess what? Bittensor, it's one of the most popular projects within that niche. So I do like that. Again, Bittensor is primarily focused on AI and as well as machine learning. And it's a pretty established project. It has good exposure, has a decent amount of holders when it comes to TAO, its native token. So no wonder I think a lot of people search for it. Now, why isn't TAO randomly going on a rally of its own? Well, it's because the sentiment hasn't really changed by that much when it comes to altcoins. It's still not doing the best, so what's going to happen? TAO just because of that randomly going on a rally of its own? No way. But I think that this right here might showcase where the attention might be heading moving forward. Because even at a time like this, Bittensor being searched that much, basically, I think that might showcase the fundamentals that people do see when it comes to Bittensor. So I like seeing that. And I didn't even expect this really, right? Because if someone told me, oh, Bittensor is more searched on CoinGecko in recent times than like a Cardano, I would be like, really? How would that even be possible? But then supposedly I saw this, so I was like, wow, that's very interesting for me to see. And again, TAO, it's still around 16 times lower than 3,000. So it's not like it's done anything that significant. I mean, it hasn't really done anything that much ever since my last video. So, it's not like this right here is going to be the end all be all when it comes to Bittensor being searched that much and then it's suddenly going to do this or do that. I don't think so. I think it might reflect it later on if there is even a hypothetical altcoin season. So this is one of the reasons why I just haven't given up when it comes to Bittensor. Oftentimes, again, people like to tell me that a project that's ranked 281st or 383rd or something like that is going to make it. It's going to survive a market downturn. Well, if they could survive, why can't like a top 40 project in the world in terms of market cap within this space, which TAO allegedly is, why can't that make it as well? That's kind of my mindset sometimes. Because again, if a way smaller project that doesn't have such a big community, doesn't have the recognition, sometimes doesn't really have the listings, like what I see with TAO, if they could make it, why can't this? This is, again, sometimes my mindset. And TAO, again, if we take a look at it at the hypothetical idea of 3,000, we're taking a look at a market cap at that point of around 32 billion. So, what, around 50 billion less than Dogecoin's all-time high market cap back in 2021? Is that ridiculous? It might not seem that ridiculous to me, but we'll wait and see again. Here's the thing. In the peak of the 2021 cycle, we were taking a look at around 300 million owners. As of right now, there's over 600 million, supposedly. And we haven't seen an altcoin season. And just take a look at how well altcoins are doing. It's clearly not doing the best, right? Neither is Bitcoin. And still, there's over 600 million owners. What could happen if there's that many individuals within this space and there's an actual altcoin season? Could it look better than the 2021 cycle? It wouldn't surprise me if it did, just due to the sheer amount of numbers, right? Just being way more than before in terms of the owners. But again, it's a only time will tell type of scenario, but I'm still dollar cost averaging once a month when it comes to TAO. I feel like all I have to do right now is wait anyways. So as long as I'm holding, as long as I don't want to exit, I'm going to be waiting. That's it. I just don't want to give up because I feel like whether or not I'm holding anyways, I'm still going to have to live my life, right? So if I'm going to have to live my life anyways, if I'm going to have to make it through March, April, May, June, July, and so on, I'd rather be holding than not. But I'm not telling anyone to do anything, but that's just sometimes my mindset. I'd rather be waiting for something as opposed to not waiting for something. But of course, I'm just dollar cost averaging once a month. I don't do any more. I don't do any less. But again, I just wanted to make this video talking about Bittensor because, again, this was something a lot of people didn't really expect. But I did see that, so I found that to be pretty impressive. Seeing just how many individuals were actually searching about Bittensor, I find that to be pretty impressive at the end of the day.